Hello, welcome to the Rideshare 101 presentation put on by the Commutes for a Lifetime initiative and the Go Dakota Transportation Initiative. We are going to be helping people understand how to use Lyft and Uber. So what is rideshare? This is the general term that's given to the industry whereby private vehicles are driven by their owners and individuals pay these owners, pay the rideshare companies to receive that service. They are available whenever and wherever there are drivers throughout Dakota County and throughout most metropolitan areas. Some of these rideshare companies are certainly available internationally as well. They tend to be about 40% cheaper than traditional taxis, and this is because over the years there have been taxes added to taxi companies for their operation. And there are some talk certainly about adding taxes to Uber and Lyft as well. The two rideshare companies that most people are aware of are Uber and Lyft, and these are the two biggest companies that operate in the United States and internationally as well. There are other companies that are available in certain select markets like Via and Sidecar. The drivers tend to drive for both companies, Uber and Lyft. So it is beneficial to have both apps on your phone so that you can compare and contrast pricing at different times of the day, because there are certainly at times more drivers for one company available than another company, and you can take advantage of the price difference. As I said, today we're going to describe how to use Lyft as one of the rideshare options available to you. Uber is another option. We simply chose Lyft because we had to select one company to profile, but the apps are very similar to one another and essentially operate the same way. Here is a short video that you can watch, a simple tutorial, somewhat similar to this presentation, but much quicker over the course of a couple of minutes. So you can certainly review this as a resource, but this presentation kind of breaks down each individual step and certainly answers many of the questions that people have had. The first step is to download the Lyft app or the Uber app, and you can do so if you have an Android phone by going to the Google Play Store. And if you have an Apple phone, you would go to the Apple App Store and search for these individual apps, the Lyft app or the Uber app, and you want to select the Rider app for either of these two companies and not the Driver app, and it should specify that within the details. Once you have downloaded the app, you'll want to sign up for the Lyft app, and you can do so by clicking on the Lyft app, which should appear on the page of your phone. And you can either do so by signing up through your Facebook account, or you can create a new account with your email address. I would suggest doing that because you're going to have to enter your email address anyway. As a part of the sign up process, you're going to be entering your mobile phone number. And once you've entered your mobile phone number, you will be texted a message that you can enter that code, and this will confirm and link your phone to the app. Once you've received the text, you can enter that number into the app, and then this will be the only time that you'll have to do that, and it will link your phone number with your phone and the app, and everything will be connected. The Lyft app should then appear on your phone. It's a pink color, it says Lyft on it, and you simply have to tap on that app and it should open up for you. We are now going to show you how to update your profile. You simply click on to the outline of the profile of the person in the left-hand corner, or actually I think the updated version now is just 3 hash marks, 3 horizontal hash marks. You click on that, and then you'll see View Profile. Click on View Profile, and we will show you how to take it from there. You can update your profile by clicking on the 3 hash marks in the upper left corner of the Lyft app. And once you do so, the menu drops down and you can view your profile, which is a link at the top of that list of options. And you can verify your email, verify your phone number, verify payment information. You can also put personal information or pronouns that you prefer, like he, him, or his, in my case. And there's also other accounts that you can link to if you had a bike share account. And you can add shortcuts as well, like putting in your home address or work address so that they automatically populate when you start to select addresses or locations. You can take a photo of yourself or update an existing photo by going to the menu option, and then at the top of the menu option you'll see your name, and right next to your name is a tiny pink camera. You can click on that camera and then you have the option of taking a selfie or pulling a photo from your photo library. As you can see here, my coworker Robin has taken a nice picture of herself. This helps the driver identify you and be sure that they're picking up the right person. You can also take different photos of yourself based on the season. So in the winter, you could take a photo of yourself with your hat and jacket. That would make it even easier for the driver to know that it's you. Next, we'll work on adding a payment method. You can add multiple payment methods, and you simply click on the menu button and then click on the payment option. Next, you want to add a payment method within the app, and you do have to add at least one type of payment method. You can certainly add multiple types of payment methods, as you can see here: traditional credit card, debit card, Google Wallet, Apple Pay, PayPal, or prepaid cards. But we recommend at least listing a traditional credit card on file within the app. Lyft as well as Uber do their best to keep your payment information secure, and they do this by using a third-party vendor to handle those payments. Lyft does not handle the payments that are routed through their app. Lyft does not store the full credit card information on their servers. This is the third party that takes care of this, so there's no Lyft employee will ever ask you for personal information unless you reach out to them first and need to use personal information. Lyft will send you emails from @lyft.com, so make sure you look for that. Now you are ready to actually get a ride. You've downloaded the app, and the pink Lyft icon should appear on your phone. You simply tap on that. You may have to log in the very beginning, but after that, the app should just open up right away and you can enter your destination. Obviously, you have to have cell service or Wi-Fi in order to use the app because it uses your GPS location to connect you to drivers. Rideshare through Uber and Lyft is an on-demand service, so you use it when you are ready to take a ride. When the app opens, you should see a map appear with various cars driving around on the map around the blue dot, which represents you, your GPS on your phone, so you can see how close the options are to you and estimate how quickly those cars could get to you. But first, you're simply going to type in your destination. You're going to use an address, or you're going to type out the name of a location, and you can do so with the search bar feature that you can see here. Your current location or your default pickup location is using your GPS, locating where you are. And you can change that, of course, if you wanted to walk a couple blocks away and get picked up at a different location. But usually you're going to be picked up where you're at with your phone. And you simply need to search for a destination. And as you can see here, there's a drop-down menu listing previous addresses or locations that you've gone to. So you can select from that list, or you can type in a new address or type in the new name of a location where you want to travel to. When setting up your ride, you can do so in a number of ways. One is to type in the exact address. If you have a home address for somebody, you would just type in that number. Or you can type in the name of a particular address, and these are usually for more well-known places like West St. Paul Target or Viking Stadium. You can just type in the name, and it uses the Google search feature to bring up these various locations. Or you can just use your current location, your GPS location. As you can see here by the star in the drop-down menu, you can simply click on that, and that will use the GPS in your phone to locate where you are. Or another option is to use your finger on the map. You can simply place your finger on the cursor on the map, and it will slide around. And this works well if you're at a larger location, again, like the Viking Stadium, and you want to be picked up at a certain location or a certain entrance or exit. And this also works well at big box stores where there's multiple entrances. You can pinpoint exactly where you're going to be standing and want to be picked up. You can make things a bit easier on yourself by adding your home and work address, and then these will be at the top of the screen as you start to search for destinations, and also your frequent locations that you go to. When you type in those addresses frequently, they will pop up toward the top of the list. And also there's other shortcuts that you can do at the pickup location screen. You can make modifications, or within your profile settings, you can make little tweaks to make it easier to search for specific destinations. A couple of tips here on getting a ride. You want to be as precise as possible as you can, especially for large destinations with multiple doors. You can simply move the pin over to a particular entrance or doorway, and the driver will know exactly on their map where to pick you up. Another good idea is to over-communicate with tough locations, and you can do so by calling or texting your driver, and that's by clicking on the contact button within the app, and I will explain that a couple of slides from now. We'll now use a particular example for getting a ride. My coworker wants to go see her son's hockey game at the Charles Schultz Highland Arena in St. Paul, and we will be traveling from the Dakota County Northern Service Center. I will now enter the starting location here in this drop-down menu, the Northern Service Center, just by typing in the name, and I will also do so by the Charles Schultz Arena by entering that in the end destination. Again, in this slide, we just want to point out exactly where you can find these numbers. The driver will arrive within 13 minutes. You can see that in the green square here, where it shows 13 minutes on the map. You can also see the particular route from the Northern Service Center to the Schultz Highland Arena. And again, you can see how much it's going to cost, and then the estimated arrival time, 6:09 p.m., which is when you'll arrive at the arena. Lyft and Uber offer various types of vehicles or sizes of vehicles that you can travel in. The basic or standard is a 4-seat available vehicle, and the price is the same whether you have one person in that vehicle or 4 people. So keep that in mind. The other options are Lyft XL, which provides 6 seats, so it's a larger vehicle, likely an SUV. There's also some luxury options. You can get a luxury vehicle or a luxury XL vehicle, which will accommodate 6 seats. Once you've selected the type of vehicle that you want, in this case a standard 4-seater, and you know it's going to cost you $12.41, and you're going to arrive at the destination at 6:09 p.m., and you are okay with this is fine with you, then the next step is to request the standard vehicle. And until then, you can simply search and explore how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, how long it's going to take them to get to you. The ride will not be requested until you hit the request button. Once the closest driver to you has been selected, you can see their vehicle on the map, and you can see the path that they're going to take to get to you, and of course the number of minutes that it's going to take to arrive at your location to pick you up. Once you've been matched with your driver, you can also contact them by hitting the contact button here on the screen, and you can call them or text them and provide them with any additional information. For example, you might be in the back of your house by the garage and you want to be picked up there, or you want to give them the color of your jacket to make it easier for them to see you if you're at somewhat of a crowded place. Once you've requested a ride, you do have the option to cancel that ride for free within 2 minutes of requesting it. After the 2 minutes, you will be charged a cancellation fee. Once you've clicked on Edit Ride, Lyft will prompt you to make sure you want to cancel, and you do so by accepting the $5 fee, or you could call the driver for a particular reason if you needed to communicate something specific to them. Or you can opt out of canceling that ride. But again, you have a 2-minute window to be able to do that for free with the fee being waived. And if you do have to cancel the ride, there will be a $5 fee charged on your account. Once the closest driver has been assigned to you, you will be able to see information about that specific driver. You'll see their name, their type of vehicle, a picture of the driver, and also their license plate number will be below the picture of the vehicle and the driver. And as you can see here, the name is Laurent. He's driving a Chevy Equinox. It's a silver gray color. You can see his picture, and then below that you can see his license plate number, 652KXU. A couple of items to note when riding in a Lyft or an Uber. You cannot choose your driver. The driver is chosen for you based on their proximity, or the soonest driver to arrive to you is the one that's selected as your driver. And if you rate your driver 3 stars or lower, you will not get them again for a driver. The star system skews toward the higher end, so most drivers are accustomed to receiving 5 stars, 4 stars. 3 stars is considered a very low rating, and that's why you'll not be paired with that driver again. Also, you are being rated, so if you get 3 stars or lower for your conduct, behavior, whatever, they will not get you as a passenger again. So it goes both ways. As you can see from this picture, you're going to get lots of notification from Lyft that your driver is leaving soon and headed in your direction, and the detail of the vehicle will be texted and emailed to you. And keep in mind that the driver will only wait for you for 5 minutes, and after that 5 minutes, you'll be charged a no-show fee, which is $5. When riding in a Lyft or an Uber, you obviously want to confirm that it's your car, your driver, and make sure that you're properly matched with the ride that you had requested. With Uber and Lyft, you can usually see the stickers in the corner of their front window or back window. And also some of the Lyft vehicles will have lit up Lyft logos for those that drive a lot for that company. But you want to confirm that it's your vehicle. This is a critical thing to do to make sure that you get in the proper vehicle. Make sure it's a Lyft, an Uber, and not just some random driver. The driver will have your first name and picture if you post a picture on your account, and you'll want to confirm with the driver that in fact you are the person that they're trying to pick up. And so one good thing to do is to open the door, say hello, and you can ask them who are they picking up, and they can say your name, and that way it can confirm that they know who you are and you're the one that's supposed to be riding with them. You can also open the door, say hello, and tell them their name as a way of confirming that they're your driver. But as I said, a good way to do it is to ask them your first name. Who are you here to pick up? As a review, you don't want to get in the car until you confirm that your car is your expected car and you are their expected passenger. So what are the ways that you can do that? And here's the answer. You can check the car, the make and the model and the color. You can check the license plate number, and you can also check the driver's name to make sure that it's your Lyft or Uber vehicle. A couple of things to note when riding, and some of these should be fairly obvious, but if you want to put something in the trunk, you simply need to let your driver know this. You're going to usually sit in the back seat unless there's more than 3 of you, and then you would just simply ask the driver if you could sit in the passenger seat. You're going to buckle your seatbelt for safety, and you're going to be a good passenger because you're being rated just as the driver is being rated. Another nice feature is that you can send your ETA to a friend or family member as you're in your Lyft vehicle and traveling toward them. And you can do so by tapping on the share location button, as you can see with the arrow. And this will send a link. You can send a link to your friend or family member. It helps if they have the Lyft or Uber app, and then the map where they can see you and follow you along on your way to them will show up much better if they have the app. When they are prompted via text or email to open the Lyft app, they'll be able to see similar information that you can see, and they can see who your driver is, the driver's name, the type of car that they'll be in. So this is a good thing to do for your own safety when you're driving around. If you want to share with somebody who's in your party where you are at in your journey toward them, just a good thing to do. And they can follow along the route as you get closer and closer to them. After your ride has concluded and you've gotten to your destination, you're going to, of course, collect your belongings, say thank you to your driver, and then once you get out of the vehicle, right away you can provide them with a star rating and also give them a tip within the app. You don't have to do this right away, but you have 24 hours to provide them with a rating for that particular ride and to tip them. If you don't do it within the 24 hours, the default will be the cost for your ride and no tip given. After your ride has concluded and you've gotten out of the vehicle, Lyft will prompt you with a text message requesting that you rate your driver and confirm the payment, and you have the opportunity to give a tip or not, and that happens shortly after the ride has ended. Rating your driver is a simple process. You have a 5-star scale, but you should know that the scale skews toward the high end, so anything under 4 stars is considered a bad ride. So if you give 3 stars, as I said earlier, you'll never be paired with that driver again. So most drivers are accustomed to getting 4 or 5 stars if they've given the rider a good ride. You can also provide anonymous comments for your driver that are aggregated at the end of the week, and they will not be connected with you. They will be totally anonymous, but you could provide nice comments, or you can give feedback if the driver has done something that you did not like. For those that have listed multiple payment methods, at this time when you're paying your driver, you can select that payment method. As you see here, there's only one option, the Visa card, but there's other options that can be listed here, and you can select those at the same time that you give the star rating and also a tip. One of the nice things about using the Lyft or Uber app is that you can tip within the app and you don't have to carry around cash, and you can quickly just get out of the vehicle and walk away, and you don't have to dig through your wallet or your purse looking for dollars to give to them. But also it should be mentioned that some drivers, most drivers do appreciate cash tips. So if you do have cash on you and you just want to quickly get cash out and give them a few dollars, that is something that they like because they don't have to pay taxes on those cash tips. Most people are interested to know how Lyft or Uber charges riders, and it's based on a base fare amount and the distance traveled during your ride and the time that it takes during your ride. And also a major factor is simply supply and demand of drivers. If there's more drivers in the marketplace, then the fare is going to be lower. But if there's fewer drivers and the demand is high, then you're going to simply pay more for your ride. So one thing to do if you're trying to get a ride and you've checked the location, the time it takes for the driver to get to you, and the cost seems high, if you wait 20 minutes or a half hour, that price could change based on the supply and demand of drivers in the marketplace. Here are some basic tips for riding in your Lyft or Uber vehicle. Don't eat or drink in the car unless your driver has said it's okay, or many of the drivers will offer bottled water or snacks or gum. So obviously if that's the case, then you can likely eat or drink in their vehicle, but you want to try and keep it nice and clean. You're not going to smoke in their car. You're going to be kind and respectful to your driver because they're also rating you. After your Lyft ride, you will receive an emailed receipt, which is very handy if you're turning in receipts for work or just want to keep track of how much you're spending on Rideshare, Lyft, or Uber. And you can also see the receipts within your menu within the Lyft app. You just click on menu and then ride history. Now we'll go through a few slides of various issues and potential solutions to those issues. The first being you simply don't have a smartphone. Well, you can also use Lyft's website if you want to use a computer at home, but the trick with that is you're not going to be able to use a computer at the grocery store. So you would have to be traveling from your house where you have a computer to a friend's house where they have a computer, and then you could use Lyft back and forth. The other alternatives are companies that you set up an account with, and then they set up the rides through Uber or Lyft for you. So you simply call them and then you arrange those rides. And those two companies are GoGo Grandparent and Arrive, and I'll talk more about those two businesses. To use Lyft's website to set up a ride, you would either go to their website or specifically ride.lyft.com, and you have to have a text-enabled phone, and Lyft would send a text to your phone with a code. You would enter the pickup location and destination, and then you would press Request Lyft, and you can then track the driver through the internet browser as the car gets closer and closer to you. But as I said before, you have to do this from computer to computer, so your destination has to have a computer as well. One of the alternative companies, if you don't have a smartphone, is called GoGo Grandparent, and it's an additional 27 cents per minute. Your Lyft or Uber ride is calculated based on distance traveled and time that has occurred, and the additional charge would be on top of what you're paying Lyft or Uber. So 27 cents per minute. If it's a shorter trip, it's usually going to be $3 or $4 extra on top of the Lyft or Uber charge. And here you can see the GoGo Grandparent website and phone number, and you can set up an account with them so that you can use the service without a smartphone. The other company is called Arrive, and it's a West Coast company, so it's only available for service in the Midwest or Minnesota from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you can find out more information about Arrive at their website, www.arriverides.com, and then you can see their phone number here as well. Another issue solution here, your driver talks to you, but you don't want to talk to them or want to talk to anybody for that matter. You're certainly welcome to be antisocial and put on your headphones or read a book or a magazine. Drivers tend to mirror the person that's riding with them, so if you're chatty and talkative, they're going to be the same with you. But if you're quiet and focused on your phone or a magazine, they're usually not going to try and talk your ear off. Another issue you may face is that the driver is taking a route that you may not think is the best route. You can certainly suggest another route, and the driver could take that route. It's not going to change the cost of your ride. Your estimate is an accurate estimate, which will be the final cost. In other markets like LA or New York, they're given an estimate, and that's partly because of traffic and congestion and other factors. But in our market, which is smaller, the estimate is the actual cost that you will pay. Another common issue is leaving something behind in your Lyft or Uber vehicle. You can simply open the Lyft app, go to the menu item in the upper left-hand corner and scroll down, and you'll see ride history. Click on ride history, and then once you select the driver that you had on a particular day, you can see within that section find lost item. Click on that, and then you can either call or text that particular driver that you had when you left something in their vehicle. Also, your receipt that you're emailed will have call and text options available within it. Another issue or unlikely situation is you've caused damage to your Lyft vehicle somehow. Maybe the person was intoxicated and they threw up in the vehicle, something horrible like that. But Lyft would send you an email with the charges and pictures of the damage that's caused. And if you did cause this damage, you can simply respond to them through the email that they've sent you. You do have the option to schedule your ride in advance, up to 7 days in advance. However, Lyft and Uber are on-demand services, so they're not going to search the marketplace for available vehicles until before your time or day that you've requested, right before it. So doing so 7 days in advance may make you feel better that you've scheduled your ride in advance and everything's set up and you can relax a little bit. But the reality is the request for that ride is not going out right before the day and time that you've requested it. So my advice would be, if you're having to go to the airport and you have to get up a couple hours in advance, simply in the morning, check what the Lyft schedule is looking like, the availability of various vehicles, how much time it's generally taking. Then you can be assured that 3 hours before your flight, you request the Lyft, that it will get to you during that estimated time. So doing so 7 days in advance really doesn't change things, doesn't put you in a better position, but if you want to do so for peace of mind, you can certainly do that. Another common issue is you want to pick up a friend on your way to another destination, and this is fairly easy to do. When you're setting up your start location and your end destination, there's a small plus sign. You simply hit the plus sign and another section pops up that you can add a stop before your final destination. So you could pick up your friend and then you could go on to a restaurant or wherever you're going. Another issue that possibly could occur is that the driver cancels your ride. This doesn't happen very often, but it could happen. Usually Lyft will automatically schedule you another ride when that happens, but sometimes it might not happen and you may have to simply start the process over and get another ride. But in most cases, Lyft will find you another ride if your driver has canceled the ride, and all of a sudden a new picture, a new information on the driver will appear and you'll be connected with the new driver. But if that doesn't happen, simply quickly schedule another ride. Another issue, situation, or concern is your driver is asking you some type of personal information. This obviously should not happen. There's no reason for you to share any personal information with your driver, your phone number. You don't even have to share your exact address. I know some uh, female riders that will get dropped off on a particular corner that's close to their house and not their actual house. So if you would like a little extra element of safety, you could certainly do something like that. Concerning safety issues of various types, it's just a good idea to simply trust your gut. If you don't feel comfortable, you can ask to be able to get out of the car. And certainly if it's an emergency or an extreme situation, you're going to call 911. For an accident, safety, or citation problem, Lyft does have a critical response line, as does Uber, and this number can be found here. When you're ready to try Lyft, you can enter a promo code, and my colleague set up a promo code here, and it's Robin13532, and you should be able to get a $5 credit toward your first ride. And once you sign up for Lyft, they're continually sending you various promos to give you discounts on rides and encourage you to try Lyft and continue to try Lyft. And you can find that under your menu under promos, and you can enter the code there. We hope that you enjoyed our Rideshare 101 presentation highlighting how to use Lyft. If you have any questions, please contact us. Myself or Robin would certainly be happy to answer any of your questions, and here is our contact information, my email, Robin's email, and her phone number. Thank you very much.